scratch all of that. Guys, it's the North London Derby. We don't got time. We don't got time for a countdown. We don't got time for none of that. We need you to get ready for the biggest game of the season that's left. I believe this is the biggest game remaining on the calendar. I know the Manchester United game is still there, but if we win this game, we're one step closer to securing that league title. But we obviously need Man City to drop some points. Before we go any further, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is going to be a match preview for the Premier League match over at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Arsenal and Tottenham, the last North London derby of the season, one of the last big away trips that we have this season. And also, we're going to look at the tactics, who's going to be the keys to help us win this game. And I got a wonderful Arsenal panel for you guys today. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on X or you're watching on YouTube, make sure you do follow and subscribe to the content. Let's get the show started. Yes, people, what's going on? We're back again with another video. We just started. Dylan, you can eat your food in a second, but
Five Guys.
Five Guys.
I've been rushing, man. I've been rushing.
No worries. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. We gotta talk about the North London derby. But before we get started, how you guys doing? How's everybody feeling going into this game?
Feeling good.
You nervous?
I'm ready, mate. I'm gassed. I can't wait.
Are you going?
Yeah.
All right, Dayo, what you saying? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. I'm happy where we're at and how we're playing. And like,
but you're not content, right? You never want to be content.
No, no. You can never be content, but you can't. There's nothing to compare the contention to, like being content to right now when we're doing everything right. It's like, you know what? It's going good. Let the boys go and get their 3 points. Pragmatic football. You don't need to go in there and like. I just care about output. At this stage, output. That's all that I care about. And so yeah, man, I'm excited. I know I don't look it because I had a tooth pulled, so I'm on medication, and so I'm a little more calmer than normal. So most guys would probably think, oh yeah, no, I am excited. Like, this is going to be a good game. It's not going to be easy, but I think we have it in the bag. Yeah. So they said you must be rich, man, Dylan. I mean, Five Guys is for rich.
Yeah, sorry
rich
about
people.
that, guys. Listen, I'm literally home alone by myself, so I gotta double check on the little one every 2 seconds, make sure he's okay. But yeah, let's get the show started. Do me a favor, everyone in the comment section, hit that like button right now. If you're watching this on the playback, let me know your score predictions before you even get started. If you're watching this on the playback, wifey just walked in through the door. Man said, Five Guys, you must be rich. Another guy saying, EGAL, James Madison back because I am scared when he is there. You know what? I'm not too worried about James Madison. We're going to talk about Spurs. We're going to talk about the tactics. We're going to get into everything around it right now. Before we go any further, though, let's take a look at the previous game. Do you think, obviously, you know what happened last year when we went to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? We beat them. And that was a massive win for us last season. I think that was like the first time I could say, you know what, we really got that hoodoo off our back, where it was like the two teams, but it was a much different side. You look at this Tottenham side in this sheet, they don't look that good. I'm going to show you guys right now. So this was the side Arsenal played with. And if you think about it, pretty much 3 out of the back 5 are still there. You're going to have maybe 2 out of the back midfield. And out of the front 3, there's no way Eddie Nketiah is starting. I don't know if Martinelli starts, so it's only Saka. So we're going to change our side a lot too. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 changes potentially from Arsenal side. And from Tottenham side, Harry Kane's not there no more. Doherty's not there no more. I don't think Session's starting. Longlay's not even there. Dyer's not there. And Hugo Lloris is not there. So that's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 players? They're key. So yeah, both teams are going to be massively changed from last year. But you know what happened last year? We won that game 2-0. The game was over after 36 minutes. Could you see it being a similar type of game where we get 2 girls early and then it's done? Or do you think it's going to be a completely different thing?
Honestly, I see them going 1-0 up, you know. I think the crowd will get behind them. It's a new Tottenham. I think when we played them last year, they were on the floor. I think they just They weren't up for it. They weren't ready for it. They're Pape Matar playing one of his first Premier League games in midfield. They just weren't ready. This year they're coming a lot more equipped. I think they're still very much beatable, and we're still a much better team. So I still back us to win, but I think they're coming a lot more. They're coming to this with a lot more confidence than they did last season. And yeah, honestly, I see them going 1-0 up or something. But I think we've just got too much for them, man. I think we've got too much over 90 minutes for them to keep us out.
I hear you when you say you see them going 1-0, but I doubt it, man. Like, if you look at how Arsenal has been playing recently, Raya, Gabriel, and Saliba, those three want a clean sheet at all cost. Like, at all costs. Just watch them. Just watch them whenever they make a deflection or a block or anything. They literally celebrate it like they scored a goal. Just watch them every single time. For them, a clean sheet is better than anything. Like, I think Arteta has told this team in the defense, your goal celebration is a clean sheet. If you keep a clean sheet, we're good. Now, those of you in front, if they're keeping a clean sheet, all you got to do is make sure you put one in the net over there. Just put one in the net. That's all you have to do. You have the capacity, you have the capability, you've got the skill set. Go out there and do it. So I know this is a different Tottenham team, and I know it's going to be a tough game. It's always going to be a tough game at the end of the season. But I've been saying this over the last couple of weeks. Fatigue is a real thing for every team, right? Fatigue is a real thing when we get to this time of the season. What makes the difference is, do you really want it? Like, do you really, really want it at this time? Like, are you ready to step up and play with that knock, that injury? Are you ready to step up and play your best players, give yourself the best chance of scoring? And I think we have what it takes. These boys have showed me. I mean, recency bias is one of the biggest issues that a lot of Arsenal fans have. If Arsenal plays badly in the last game, we start judging them against the next game like, oh, they're going to play that same way, it's going to happen. But we've seen this team this season. They've not played 3 back-to-back bad games. They've not had that. It's either 1 or 2, maybe a draw here, maybe a loss here and then bounce back, or a loss here and then bounce back. And they've showed us that they have what it takes. Of course, going to the White Hart Lane, which is what I call it. I don't call it the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's a stupid name. I'll just keep it as White Hart Lane. Going to White Hart Lane was always a hoodoo, which we broke last year.
Yeah, that's massive.
And I think that breaking that hoodoo last year with the squad that we had and at the time that we broke it, it's given us a different perspective of like, we can go there and get something. Them coming to the Emirates earlier this season and playing a draw with us. If you look at the Arsenal at the beginning of the season and Arsenal now, we've only gotten stronger. So at the beginning of the season, when we were even at our our shaky level, and they were in their pump. They were in their pump. They had done 10 games. They were top of the league. Like, this was them flying. They were in their pump. We were figuring out the team, and we're just pragmatic football, just getting through. They drew with us. So now that we are in our pump, but where we can get out of gear too. And they
look at this. You got Chelsea fans. You got Chelsea fans rooting for Tottenham while their game is on.
Yeah. Chelsea fans are clowns.
Shamelessness is hilarious. Sulz, talk to me. Same question. Do you think the game could go similar to how last year went?
Do you know what it is, right? It's a difficult one to answer because we've got to really test the mentality of this team now, because this is a big stage. It's pressured because one of our competitors in terms of the league title is kind of slipping away in terms of Liverpool. If we do win, that's 5 points.
They're done.
Yeah. If we win, City win, they're kind of out of it because there's a 5-point gap regardless of who you look at. And we need to put the pressure on them. I know they're playing Nottingham Forest, and the likelihood is they're going to beat Nottingham Forest. But if they come out of this game, right, for example, we beat Spurs 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, whatever the case may be, that's gonna really play a psychological factor in terms of what City go and do. And that's all we can do now. Like, it's not in our hands because we decided to, cock up a few results, at the beginning of the season in terms of the Fulham draw, the 2 Villa games, etc. So we've kind of got ourselves to blame for being in this situation. But this is where they can rectify it a little bit, because going away to, let's say, Spurs and winning at Old Trafford can be the sort of glimmer of hope that this team needs to give, to say, one more window and we've got this. And it starts tomorrow, especially when you look at Destiny Udogie not being in the team and Ben Davies coming in, and they're kind of really unsure of what their back line's going to be. So we need to take advantage of those situations. We need to quieten that crowd as quick as we can. What we did against Chelsea, within the first 5 minutes, we need to score because that's going to really give us the advantage in these games. But the one thing that I'm looking for particularly is us not losing our heads. We need to stay calm. We can't play the occasion, just play our game like we have done when we've gone to the Anfield, when we've gone to Etihad, when we've gone to these big games away from home where the pressure's on us. We haven't crumbled yet. Don't let this be the first game that you go away from home and truly show like signs of the old Arsenal. We need to see that solidity in mentality. We need to not make mistakes. We need to be as a team. But it's also on Arteta to pick the right lineup. Is he going to do too much tinkering where, like he did against Bayern Munich, which kind of cost us a little bit? Granted, there was a draw and a 1-0, but it was still kind of too many changes, too many key players going out and in. So it's going to be, for me, it's interesting to see how far this team has truly come.
What about the midfield? Would you go from midfield?
We're going to talk about the team right now. So let's go straight into the thing. Are you back, Dayo? Let me know when you're back. So this is our predicted team sheet and how it's going to look. So first, goalkeeper, no question. Everyone at this point knows Reyes starts every game. Ben White at right back, it picks itself. Then you have Saliba and Gabriel. So where's Saliba? Let me find him.
There he is at the
bottom.
Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and then left back. Can we agree? Tomiyasu.
Yeah, because he's fit. So yeah, it's got to be him.
Tomiyasu's fit. I think he was a precaution, really, that game in between the Chelsea game and the other one. I think it was a precaution that they took him out. They didn't want to
shot Zinchenko played though.
Zinchenko was terrible.
Yeah, I think Tomiyasu first, then Zinchenko, then probably Kiwior in a game like this.
At this moment in time. But the moment Timber comes back, he's taking that spot.
Yeah, but he's not back until next season, so he's not a conversation at the moment.
The thing is, he's going to probably play for the Euros, so I don't know. Anyways, before next, let's go to the next person. We know that Odegaard's going to be in the team. We know O's going to be in the team, right?
That's 100%. Him and Rice are definitely in.
Oh, why is it?
He was at the top. Was he not?
And then Rice is going to be there. So who's going to be
it's really the third.
To me,
it's got to be Partey.
Yeah, I agree. I think Partey.
What happened? What happened? We didn't want.
Listen, you seen my video I posted on TikTok. Jorginho has been great. He's been amazing this season. My thing with Partey has always been about his fitness. I never hated the guy. I just always was frustrated with the lack of fitness that he has. So now that he's fit and he's available and he's looking good versus Chelsea, I can trust him to play this game. If he didn't have a good 90 minutes versus Chelsea and he was still coming in and off the bench like he was since he came back from injury, then I wouldn't have trusted him going into this game.
But did you see the difference Partey makes though?
Yeah, you see it with the progression.
Why is that guy, bro? Why is that guy?
Yeah, but Partey only makes a difference when he's fit, though. That's the only thing. If he's when he's not fit, like if you saw him in the games where they brought him in for like 10, 15 minutes, a couple of times he was turned, he couldn't catch up. He played one or two good passes, but against Chelsea,
he wasn't ready to start.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. Yeah, against Chelsea, and which is what I was telling everybody.
He wasn't ready to start versus Aston Villa.
Partey is fit. Why don't we just play him? And I'm like, Arteta is not stupid though. He would rather play Partey when he's 100% because then you get the best out of him and the best out of the team. You don't go there and play Thomas Partey.
Also, Chelsea, that game was not a good barometer to judge every single player because Martin Odegaard had a Premier League record chances created by a single player in a game. You had Thomas Partey, who was one of our deepest players, who had like 9 passes into the final third and created 2 chances himself. Declan Rice, who was another midfielder of ours, he created 1 chance, but he literally assisted another one. So it was like this game, the Chelsea game, is not a good barometer to judge all of our players because we battered Chelsea, we destroyed them. And if
that's a good barometer though, because you gotta think about it.
I don't think so.
No, let me explain why I'm saying that.
Can we admit that we all make fun of Chelsea's midfield, Enzo, Caicedo?
I get it.
Season.
I get it,
So
but we've played worse teams and not created that amount of chances. We played Sheffield and Odegard has not created that amount of chances. We've played.
Nobody has in the Premier League.
That's what I'm saying. We've played worse teams than Chelsea. So if we've played worse teams and we're not able to create those kind of chances, and we play a Chelsea that is slightly better than some of those teams, of course, Chelsea is terrible, but slightly better, and we're not able to create it, and you can see the cohesion in the team. I think it's a good barometer to show that, look, the team understands what to do against anybody. Okay. And then when we talk about defense as well, for example, against like Man City, we did what we needed to do to halt them both games this season to one shot on target.
Okay, no worries. So
I think it's a good barometer, man.
Partey's going to be in, but next, Saka on the right, no debate. Havertz up top. I think that shouldn't be a debate either at this moment in time. Everyone agrees, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And then the left is where there's a little bit of a debate. Do you go Martinelli or do you go Trossard? What do you guys think?
It has to be Trossard right now. It has to be.
I agree. Trossard, based on form and his finishing ability, is just second to none in our team. Martinelli this season has missed a lot of chances. I would have said last year he was our best finisher, but right now Trossard is our best finisher, and he's being asked.
Trossard's always been our best finisher. Let's not.
No. Martinelli last season was one of our best finishers.
No, Trossard was still better.
Trossard had 1 goal. He had 11 assists.
No, Trossard's still a better finisher. When you give him a chance, he scores. Martinelli is a bit iffy.
I'm starting Trossard. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if Martinelli gets back into team at this moment in time based on it. Like if we're playing based on merit, he hasn't earned it. So no matter what, I don't think he's going to get back in this team yet. Maybe against Bournemouth at home.
Martinelli's an interesting one, because the thing is with Trossard is, what is he, 29?
Yeah, he's the only player in his prime.
He's 29. So how many years have we really got left of Trossard? Maybe 2 or 3? I don't.
Yeah.
We've obviously got Martinelli for ages, but what happens? Because obviously I think Trossard's way better than him. We've got to keep Martinelli, but he's going to have to wait around till Trossard's done and hopefully improving at times. It's going to be weird to see how the left wing position changes over the next 3 years.
No. Competition for place is healthy, bro. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I wish we had the same.
Of course, next season we're going to be playing in 4 tournaments again, and this time around we want to make sure that we're competing on all 4. So having players like for like or even better on wings, like on the same wing, is good.
So you guys agree with this team?
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
So that is our team. That is our Arsenal team. And
let me answer this question real quick. Someone has been saying Saka is terrible. Saka is this. Let me explain why Saka is still in the team. At the tail end of the season, when you're playing, you want to give yourself the best chance of scoring, right? And you put your top players with the most XG in your team. That's what you do. You ask yourself, if you look at Arsenal's front 4, Saka is one of the people with the most XG. Yeah, Gabriel Jesus is a great player, a good player. He can play on the right, but his XG this season has not been good enough. I would rather have a Saka who would give me an option of a goal, even if he's playing badly, and have a Havertz who's also one of our highest XG, have a Trossard who's also one of our highest XG. Like, those are the guys I want there at the tail end of the season who will be able to give me a goal, because I can depend on my defense already to stop, shots against us and all that. So my thing is, no, you can't say stop talking about XG, because it doesn't make any sense. This is about results.
Yeah,
it's about results.
It's about okay, do you mean GA?
Sorry, I'm GA. My bad.
Okay, XG is a load of bollocks. That's what he means.
GA, goals and assists. I'd rather have the people that give me the most goals and assists. Sorry, my bad. Because this is about results. It's not just about performance. So if Jesus is going to run around and give me performance and probably just get me 1 penalty, when Saka might be able to put in a couple of crosses, set pieces as well from crossing, probably even be able to score on a good day for him where he's actually playing very well. I'd rather have that. So I'd rather have someone with a 17, somebody else with a 15, somebody else with a 15 in my front 3 than say, oh, let me put Jesus who has a 5 or a 6 because he can give me output. Performance.
Let's analyze Tottenham's team. What's Tottenham's team going to be? Because I'm kind of struggling to figure out what their team might be. So let's kind of look at this quickly and what do you think? Obviously, we know who their goalkeeper is. It's going to be Vicario, right? So their goalkeeper is Vicario. Their left back is going to be Ben Davies. Their right back is going to be Pedro Porro, right? Their center back pairing is going to be, of course, Van de Ven and Christian Romero.
There's also conversations about what's that?
Madison is in the 10.
Dragusin coming in and Van de Ven
No,
playing
no.
on the left.
It's been confirmed that Ben Davies is going to start.
Oh, is
basically.
it? Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know why he would give us that information, but apparently it's been confirmed that he was. You think it's a smoke screen? You think they're just lying to us?
I mean, to be fair, regardless of whether it's Ben Davies or if they put Van de Ven on the left, it's not going to really change the barometers of this game.
I think this is what I'm expecting. Let me know if you guys think anything's different, because I think they're going to go with Richarlison, Son, and Brendan Johnson on the right.
What's happened to Kulu?
Kulusevski's fallen off a cliff, mate. These guys are saying they want to sell him.
Yeah, he was meant to be better than Saka, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think Kulusevski started his last couple games for Tottenham. Has he played for them lately? The game versus Fulham, who started?
Brendan Johnson's kind of taking that spot, I think.
What? Yeah, Kulusevski started that game against Newcastle. Against Fulham. And then what happened in the game after that? Against Newcastle, who started for Tottenham against Newcastle? I'm pretty sure that was the game where Brendan Johnson started on the right. Yep. And then Timo Werner was on the left. And now that Richarlison is back, they're going to go Brendan Johnson on the right, Son on the left, and Richarlison up top, most likely. That's at least what some Tottenham fans were telling me. If anyone's in the chat that's a Tottenham fan that thinks they're going to do something different, let me know. I'm looking at the Nottingham Forest game right now, just to see what they did. They played. So Brendan Johnson is their right winger, no matter what. Kulusevski hasn't played for them for about 3 games now. Kulusevski's last game was against West Ham, I think. That was on the 2nd of April. No, he didn't even start versus West Ham. Kulusevski hasn't played since March as a starter.
Kulusevski hasn't played since March as a starter.
That's
last month. Last month.
So he's out, bro. We're in like the 27th of April. Do you realize?
It's mental, you know. The season's nearly done already. How?
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, just to figure out what midfield do you think they're gonna go with? Because I've heard them say Bentancur is guaranteed.
It's gonna be Højbjerg.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Why Højbjerg?
He's more sort of solid defensively, and he can actually sort them out structurally in the back.
I would have been more worried of Sarr if they played Sarr. You know what I mean?
No, but he's not going to be able to lead that back line when they need it more.
Can this midfield really hurt us, though?
Even if you put Sarr there, it's not going to make a difference. Højbjerg is probably better for what they need.
What do they need to hold on to the ball?
No, it's not necessarily that, to be defensively solid. One of the things that we're an attacking threat. They need that number in solid, because in this sort of game, they need to be physical to let us know that they're there. This is a derby. This isn't going to be an easy game. Whereas with Sarr, for me, it's a bit lightweight. Especially if we're looking at a predicted midfield of Partey, Odegard, and Rice. That's a physical 3. They're going to need to match it to some degree. They can't go with lightweight players like Pape Sarr to combat with, the likes of Odegard or Rice or Partey, whoever ends up playing. So that's the reason why I think Højbjerg is probably more than likely going to play in a game like this.
I'm looking at this team. I'm looking at the left side and the right side, and I'm saying to myself, the combination of the midfielders and the attackers. I think the right side is more dangerous than the left at this point, even though Son is on the left. But what do you guys think?
Well, that's what
Brendan Johnson, Bentancur, and Pedro Porro, they could cause us more problems on that side, and that's where our weakness is with that left back situation. Tomiyasu being there, hopefully we're secure there, but that surely Declan Rice is going to have to be the left 8, and he's going to have to help out a lot.
Well, I don't know. The thing is with Spurs is like that midfield is so on and off. Like these players in their day, decent players, but they don't really turn up. Like they're not. See with Declan Rice, you're getting an 8 out of 10 every week. With Thomas Partey, you're getting an 8 out of 10 every week. With Martin Odegaard, if he's involved in the game, he's going to be an 8 out of 10 plus. These players are very on and off for Spurs. James Maddison's obviously a good player. Højbjerg, when he puts his mind to it, is a good player. Bentancur is a good player. But like they're so on and off. If the game's not going their way, I mean, we've seen the state of some of the stuff. Like Mickey Van de Ven, we think's a great centre back, and sliding on his face last week at St James's Park. yeah, man, you never know what you're going to get with this team. That's what's so interesting about it. I honestly couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what you're going to get out of those three.
Okay. You know what? One person we know what we're going to get out of, I think, is if we look at our own team and we look at our captain, Martin Odegaard. Our captain, Martin Odegaard, is one person we know what we are going to get from him. And I just wanted to show you guys this tactical breakdown that I've seen online. And I think Martin Odegaard could be the key to help us obviously win this game. He's the main man.
Yeah, saw this.
Yeah. And this was really well put from Adrian Clark, of course. He was speaking about how Martin Odegaard this season has been crucial for Arsenal and how influential he's been to our attack, and how Tottenham are going to have to stop him because in open play, he's created the most chances in the Premier League this season. If you look at that, only Bruno Fernandes and Bukayo Saka are close to him with 64 and 63. He literally has almost 10. He has like 12 more than them, right? Then you go to chances and through balls. He has the most through balls in the Premier League. And guess what? Tottenham are susceptible to through balls. Tottenham are one of the worst teams when it comes to how high their line is. And if you look at what they did, especially versus Newcastle recently, it was one ball over the top that got them. One ball over the top that destroyed them. If you look at how we scored our third goal versus Chelsea, it was one ball through the middle to Kai Havertz and bang. I could literally see this same situation happen against Tottenham this weekend. I think Martin Odegaard and Martin Odegaard and his ability to pick out a pass from these kind of areas, and the fact culminating with the fact that Spurs don't really change their ways and they don't play defensive, they don't drop their line a little bit more to make sure they don't get beat from that deep from that long ball. We could really have some joy with these kind of situations. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Havertz ain't the fastest, but on the end of a chance, you'd hope he can finish 1v1. It mostly puts you in a 1v1 situation. It's not really a one where we dominate their half, move it around their area and create something for ourselves. It's going to be a case of a 1v1. But obviously I don't see that happening more than once or twice in the game without them stopping it, shutting off the option for it to happen, or the centre backs being on point.
It happened twice against Newcastle.
They got quick centre backs, but I don't see them allowing that to happen too much. So when it does happen, we need to take our chances, because we don't want to be looking back and going, if he puts that away at 0-0, if he puts that away at 1-0, like I don't want to be looking back at that. It's not going to be a thing where every time we get the ball, just give it to Odegaard and he'll pop it in behind, and it will happen every single time, all 90 minutes. It won't happen like that.
I think you forget that the person we're going up against is Ange Postecoglou, who is a very stubborn manager who is not going to change his high line.
He's not going to change his leg.
So I think we forget that, and other teams have not exploited that against Tottenham as much as they should. The teams that have destroyed them, the teams that literally exploited their high line destroyed them. So if one thing that I can say is this, Luton's manager, I don't remember his name now off the top of my head, but Luton's manager made a statement. He said this Arsenal team is the one team that he's played with, and he's realized that they can play in different ways. And we showed it against Man City at the Etihad, against other clubs. Oh my God, Chelsea just scored again.
Yeah,
let me just stop you right there. Do me a favor, guys. How do we only have 23 likes? Do me a favor. Hit that like button right now. It's absolutely free. And if you're watching on X, come join us on YouTube. But yeah, who scored for Chelsea?
I don't know. I just know they scored.
I'm gonna guess it's Cole Palmer.
No, it's Conor Gallagher, actually.
No, it's
again.
They scored the third goal. They scored the third goal.
It's the Sassy scored. Am I on mute?
Why are you telling me Conor Gallagher scored?
Conor Gallagher scored the second goal. They are 3-2.
Oh, okay.
You're looking at the previous goal.
Cole Palmer's got a flume on the guys. Boom. He ain't done nothing.
Yeah, Cole Palmer's stinking up the joint.
It's an own goal, actually. Robin Olsen. It came off Robin Olsen.
Yeah, Madueke went from having a stinker to getting a goal and assist. Mental. Anyways, enough about irrelevant Chelsea.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is, like, regardless of how we look at this, we have a team that can play in different dynamic ways. Now, we have a coach, to be honest with you, a manager who is very, very intelligent. You might not rate Arteta, you might not rate the things that he has done, but I tell people this, he's been 4.5 years on this job as a senior manager. 4.5. Like, let's not play down the fact that is baby years when it comes to being a manager. A lot of the managers he's going up against in the Prem, no, it is baby years as compared.
I know what you mean. But same time,
and listen, hold on. Let me finish. And in those 4.5 years, he's challenged twice, which means 50% of his career, He's literally challenged for a title. Yeah, he bottled it because he didn't have the experience, which is fair enough to say. But 50% of his career, he's literally gone after the title twice in the 4 years that he's been around, 4.5 years. So let's not play down the fact that we have an intelligent manager who I think knows that, look, every game is a final. And playing sometimes, and this is why when Arsenal loses a game sometimes and Arteta gets the tactics wrong, I don't really kick him because I'm like, he's still getting there. He's still getting there. He's still like, he's not Ancelotti. He's not a Pep Guardiola with all these years that has done it.
I don't think anyone here is having an Arteta conversation.
No. I'm just saying generally, like, I'm talking about the two coaches. Remember, I started by saying Ange will play his high line. Like, remember, I started by saying that's how Tottenham will play. We're going up against Ange. And on our end, we have Arteta who
adapts.
Who has finally showed us that he can adapt. So I'm just saying, like, I'm happy to have a coach that can adapt and not be stubborn like Ange. And so let's, fingers crossed. It's not going to be an easy game, but I see us beating them.
This is where I disagree with you there, though. Like, as much as maybe Arteta isn't stubborn per se, he has his own flaws.
Oh no, yeah, he does. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree with you.
But he also can be stubborn. Let's not be.
Oh no, he's stubborn. Don't get me wrong, but he knows how to adapt when he needs to adapt. Like, and that's something that you learn.
But he doesn't always do it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But that's the reason I spoke about him being 4 years on the job. There's something that comes with experience. When you're stubborn and then it comes back to bite you and you lose, next time you're not going to be stubborn. You're going to find a way to do it right. So because he hasn't been bitten as much, he's not really felt. Look, if you look at Mikel Arteta's career, and he ends his career today, right? With 1 FA Cup, 2 Community Shields, challenging for the title twice, all in 4 years. For any other manager, that is success anywhere else. But for Arsenal, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, for any other manager, that is success anywhere else in the world, right?
But that manager wouldn't be spoken about. Let's not.
I know. No. That's why I said for Arsenal is not. So I'm saying, like, based on that, we have higher standards. We have bigger goals.
Quickly. Let me pivot the conversation quickly. We're talking about Ange. Ange did say Arsenal on stopping Arsenal in the title race. He did say we understand the importance of this game. We understand not letting our biggest rivals in the biggest derby get on top of us. So basically, he is basically saying he knows what they have to do tactically to avoid from us basically dictating the game.
Yeah, he said that. He said that in an interview when somebody asked him. The word the reporter used was, if Tottenham is going to spoil Arsenal's party, like, spoil the chances of Arsenal winning the league. And this guy says no, that he is not. He says he is not about the spoiling anybody's party, that he gets his own inspiration from being a better team in every game that they play. And I like what he said there. Like, that's him taking it seriously. He's not looking at it from the derby point of view. Yeah, because he knows that a derby is a derby anyways. But as a manager, he's coming in saying, we just have to be better than we were in the last game and be better than the other team we face. So whoever you're playing, you just have to be better than them on that day.
I read this as they know they need to stop us in the title race.
Well, yeah, I guess, you can read the undertones of it, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, the bottom line is, are there any good manager who starts to think it's about the title race and me stopping Arsenal?
Does this underlining quote have the sense of that he might adapt to Arsenal? Do you think reading this, do you think he might now change his tune slightly? Just a little bit.
I doubt it. If you haven't changed in 30-something odd games, all of a sudden you want to change, you're messing your team up. They're so used to playing their high line. They know even when they were 9 men down, they played a high line, EGAL. What are we talking about here?
Did they play a high line versus Man City at home?
Yes, they did. They always play high. These guys, they don't care. Like, Ange does not care. Like, Ange knows that.
What do you think? Do you agree with Dayo? Ange doesn't care, or do you think agree with me that he might change it, knowing that it could cost him?
I think the problem is that they've got their centre-back partnership in terms of Romero and Van der Ven at least playing. Now, the fullbacks are the doubt, because we don't know whether Porro's definitely starting, whether, obviously with Ben Davies, it's been kind of confirmed somewhat, but Porro's just come back into training. So is he going to be fit enough to actually play in this game or not? But when you look at their centre-back partnership, you look at their midfield, they've still got that fit. So is he going to change? Probably not, because I think it'd be naive for him to change, because they don't know how to play a defensive line or like a sort of a low block. Yes, they might have done that under their previous managers, but this sort of defensive line hasn't really played together where the structures had to change. The only thing that maybe gives you a bit of hope, EGAL, or people like yourself, is they've had, what, like 10 or 14 days, since they last played, which is enough time to kind of tactically adapt or get another system in place. But at the same time, against Arsenal, against your biggest rival, is it a good idea to completely change your philosophy? Because we are talking two ends of the spectrum. We're not saying, he's gone from like a mid-block or, someone who's playing kind of not necessarily defensively, but kind of reserved the way that we do, to full-out attack, for example. They're going from a full-out attacking team to now you're asking them to be a more defensive-sounding team. That's not going to happen. So if they do, it's going to be a shit show
overnight. Yeah,
it's going to be a crap show for them.
Dylan, what we're asking is, do you think Ange will change his philosophy just for Arsenal?
Well, I mean, they've had what you could consider to them harder games than us, and they haven't changed. There's no evidence to suggest he would change the lineup, but at the same time, he'd be silly not to. To be honest, for me, I'm honestly not fussed in the slightest. I think if we play our game and we do what we can do, I don't think there's any stopping us, especially not with the players they have. So genuinely, doesn't bother me in the slightest. But at the same time, I think he'd be silly. I think he'd be silly not to change up, because with the players we have, it's like he's asking for a beatdown if he plays like that. It would probably be the quality we have.
Who's the one Spurs player that scares you guys?
You gotta look at this stat, right? Tottenham has scored 65 goals this season and conceded 49. So you have to understand, like, if they change all of a sudden and try to play a low block against an Arsenal team that knows how to score and knows how to break down the low block right now, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to want to play their own game, which is bring the game to us. And if they open up still on the counter, we can get them. In transition, we can get them. The big difference is going to be, the battle is going to be in the midfield. If Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard get on it, I see Martin Odegaard dropping deep a little bit, collecting the ball, causing problems for them, because he's going to draw them out. And he's good in those little pockets. Finds Havertz or finds a Bukayo Saka, and then he continues on to the front. Like, if we play that way, I see us winning this game. It's not going to be easy, but I see us winning this game. So I'm not worried about them on. There's really not much in this Tottenham team that I'm afraid of right now, because I know the form they're in now. Everybody says they've had how many days to rest and to work on 16, stuff and all that.
15.
But here's the thing, though. There's something about momentum. When you've rested for like that long, and yet all you've done is like. And I'm only
second. So you would rather have momentum, but there's a lot of people who'd rather have the days off.
Oh no, yeah, I understand the days off. I'm just going to speak as in based on what I've done in the past as when I did sports, right? I didn't play football. I played football, but not to a high level. So of course, college football and all that. But the sport that I did to a high level, every time you've gotten rest for a while just before your next fight, you're almost laggy at the very beginning of the fight, and you could lose a lot of points at that very beginning of the fight. The first 1 minute, 2 minutes, you're laggy. Yeah, you're sharp in training and all that, but this is now the pressure of you're now in the tatami. You're facing the person you're going to fight. Now is different. This is not your sparring partner that is going to hold back from hitting you. This one, you could get popped. Your shoulder could be removed. So it's a different mentality. So Tottenham knows that this is not training where all the goals that they scored and all the stuff that they worked on, it's all nice and easy. This one, a goal goes in, they know they're in trouble. So they're going to like, resting is good when it's the end of the season and you have maybe some charity tournament to raise funds or whatever it is, for that I'm game for. After the whole season is done, momentum is a thing, man. It's a thing. And it's a good thing, because you are in that, let's go. You're in the war mode. Until the war is over, you're in war mode. You're not switching off and then switching on, So yeah, I think for us we're in a better place. I think Arsenal's in a better place. So yeah, let's just go and do the business, man.
Let me ask Sulz then. Sulz, are you not worried about anybody in Tottenham's team?
No, I mean, like, Son can do damage, Richarlison on his day can do damage, Brennan Johnson's having a surprisingly decent season for his standard. there are players in that team that can do a job. Like, even a Højbjerg, for example, they've been there, done that. Look, even on his day, like Romero's a red card away from being sent off. So that he can be very 50-50.
He's been good this season, discipline wise.
He's been fairly solid, but a game like this could be where his discipline turns. We've seen Pedro Porro and what he can do in terms of his deliveries and his offering in terms of just creatively anyway. So there are players there that if we're not careful, if we switch off, or if we have the wrong lineup or the wrong players against those kind of players, it can be a long day for us. Like Son, for example, can score from anything. He's one of those players that we miss. Like, we need a player like that where, the games are going against you, it's kind of getting away from you, but you need a moment of magic, just a moment of spark, and he can be that. So we can't sit here and just write that team off. It's a derby.
I hear you.
Some of them have experience in these games as well.
I hear you, but I'm just going to say this. A lot of people are mentioning Maddison. Do you guys realize how bad Maddison has been in form?
It doesn't matter though. It's a derby though. Egal, this is what I've come to learn about a derby.
Maddison has only gotten 1 goal since October.
Yeah, Egal, but this is what happens at a derby. See, form goes out the window when it's a derby, especially when it's Arsenal Tottenham. Last year when we went to
So are you afraid of Maddison?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of Maddison. Let me explain what I'm saying. I am not afraid of any team. I respect every team, but I'm not afraid of any team as Arsenal right now. Because I look at the Arsenal team that we have, and I know that we can do a job on anybody. Like, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not scared to come play anybody, but I respect them and what it is. Another thing that I respect is that this is a derby. When it's a derby, all bets are off. Emotions are in. Like, there's this level of a difference in the emotion level where a player is like, you know what? Remember, it's like, you know what? I'll take a red card and break Kai Havertz's leg. It takes a second to think about it and do it with that emotion. Yeah. Like, so when it comes to derby, you've seen how back in the day, Vieira and the guys, like you saw those derbies, they would knock themselves intentionally. Like, it wasn't because to them, even a draw is a loss to the boys. So for me, because it's also a derby, there's going to be high emotions. We have to actually, logic. There's no logic at this point. It's like we have to calm that down, temper that down, focus on the business, and say, okay, well, this is about the game. Arteta tells the boys, don't go in there and do crazy stuff. Remember the last time we played? I think we played them one time. Who got a red card? I think it was Martinelli for two yellows.
No. It was what do you call it? Emerson
Granit
Royal.
Xhaka. Yeah, Granit Xhaka has gotten
Royal.
Emerson Royal. Yeah, I'm saying Granit Xhaka has gotten a red card against them. Like some of our major red cards, some of our most red cards have been against.
It was Holding who got the red card last.
Yeah, Holding. Sorry, last time. So yeah, so you see what I'm saying. So I just know that there's no. When it comes to being a derby, form is out the window. Form is out the window.
We got to talk about this. These guys are already in. We don't want this mentality. Leave that mentality to Liverpool. Our mentality has to be we can still win the league, and we believe that this team.
These are the fans that I totally don't understand. Like when it comes to City, they give them the positive end of the stick. Oh, congratulations, City is going to under Pep master this. When it comes to Arsenal, they never look at how well Arsenal is doing. They always talk about the negative side. Ask any one of them, the first game they refer tonight, what about how we played against Porto? What about how we played against Aston Villa? We've lost 1 game in 2024. We've lost 1 game in the year 2024. Like
nobody wants to hear that.
Even if Arsenal don't win this season, like I need to ask a question. We've all touted at Pep as the greatest. Like what we're saying is this is the greatest guy and the hardest guy to beat in the history of the Premiership, right? And your coach is not the greatest and Arteta is not the greatest and the best, but is pushing him and knocking on that door. Yet, we try to hammer down on Arteta's head while saying Pep is better than Arteta. While saying Rodri is better than Rice. While saying Foden is better than Saka. While saying, we're talking through both sides of our mouth. It's like, I just never get those kind of fans. I just never understand it. It confuses me. I can criticize my team to be better without putting down the good that they're doing and the advancement that they've made. Like, hey, this is where we lack. This is what we need to do. But to sit there and just always give the negative, what if we play the way we played against Aston Villa? What if we play how we played against Newcastle? What if we play how we played against Chelsea?
Well, what if everyone in the video hit the like button? We
Hey,
right?
Yeah.
We'd
What
be
if everybody in the video hit the
700
like button? Yeah.
likes. Like, let's everyone do me a favor, hit that like button right now. I'm just gonna ask, do you guys agree? The title race is not done. Arsenal are still fully in this. We just need to win all our games, especially with this weekend versus Tottenham. I don't think this league title is close to being wrapped up for City yet. City could drop points on Sunday. Who knows? All we know is we need to win our next game, and it's a big game, probably probably the toughest game of the season. Dylan, do you believe we can do it?
mate, I know we can do it. I don't need to believe. I know we can do it. I just need to see it to believe it, because I don't want to be in the Tottenham area tomorrow hearing, you lost the league at White Hart Lane, like Liverpool had to hear on bloody whenever they played Everton the other night. I'm not trying to hear that. So yeah, like tomorrow it has to be a win, non-negotiable. But just start the game, bruv. I don't want to think about it no more. Just kick off, bruv. Just kick off now. I can't watch this anymore. It's painful, man. It's painful. I'm just excited.
Oh, you're gonna be there live, so it's gonna be even crazier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hectic, man. It's gonna be hectic.
Oh man. Talk to me. What are you saying, Sulz? Sulz,
You're on
you
mute.
there?
You're on mute, my brother.
Oh, that's yeah. No, I mean, in terms of the title race, I mean, it's not over. It's two. Like, even if City win all their games in hand, that's 2 points that they gain on us, really. And for me, that's not really. We can't sit back. We never believed. If it's only 2 points that we're literally saying that's why City are going to win it, then we never believed in the first place. We could never put this Arsenal team in a bracket of we're title challengers. We can only believe it if, let's say, for example, we were in Liverpool's situation where there's a potential 5.6 point gap between us and whoever's first. Right now, like there's games for City to lose, there's games that we can lose, but all we can do is our job. We've got a job tomorrow, focus on it one game at a time. Tomorrow we've got Spurs. That's our cup final. That's our Champions League final, call it. That's the game that's the most important. We need to go into that game and just give it everything. Because like I said earlier in the stream as well, as long as we can beat them, even if, let's say, for example, we do pull out a result, let's say 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. I'm not saying that's my prediction. I'm just saying if, let's say, that happens, they go into the Nottingham Forest game and going, okay, these guys are serious. These guys aren't, like they did last year when they stepped off. They gave us the league title. This year, they're coming for it. And that can have a psychological effect. That can make them draw a game. I'm not saying they're necessarily going to lose, or they will definitely lose if we beat Spurs, but it plays a psychological advantage in our favor. We need to keep putting these statements out. We can't be, where Crystal Palace drop points to, Liverpool drop points to Crystal Palace and then we go do the same thing. We can't do that. So we need to go into that game, give it our everything, and that's all we ask for them. We need to keep competing. We need to show that next level of mentality. We need to be able to sit there and go, you know what? Okay, we did, let ourselves down in some periods of this season where we should have got wins, but we didn't give up. We kept fighting. That is what's going to get us from, like, for example, this season to next season to competing. City are going to have to take us seriously, because this season, they might have taken us a bit lightly and gone, yeah, Arsenal will, at the end of the season, just do what they've done last year and capitulate. This year, we can show we don't capitulate. Yes, we've had bad, results that have meant that, by the way, these point tallies are some of the highest we've seen in the league's histories. We're having to get 90 to 100 points to guarantee a league. That's never been heard of consistently, by the way, every single season. All our point tallies from Liverpool, from Liverpool to Arsenal, both finishing second, would have won pretty much every league title in Premier League history, bar the one City win. So that's how hard it's become. That's how difficult the point is, how perfect you have to be to win this league title. That's all I'm saying. Just do our jobs. Tomorrow, forget about the future fixtures. Forget about what do you think is going to happen in the next 5 fixtures. Forget that. Tomorrow is the most important. That's our final. We could call it our final game. Then the next one. Then the next one. And that's all we focus on. 3 points. Just get our win. 1-0. Scrappy. I don't care. Own goal. I don't care how we do it. Just get the wins. We don't need performances.
Pragmatic football. And I said that when it was 7-8 games to go, EGAL, if you remember. I kept on saying pragmatic football. And that's why when we played against who did we play before Chelsea? And everybody was like, oh, we didn't play very well, but we won. And I'm like, who cares? I'm like, who cares? Well, listen, if you don't play well and you win, right? then I wonder what happens when you play well. Like I'm not
See,
like
5-0.
it's like yeah, it's like if you don't play well and you win, just win. Like if you're not up to it on that day, just go in there and get me 3 points. I don't care how you do it.
Yeah,
Get me
you
a
can't
penalty.
complain about the Wolves'
Yeah.
performance. You can't complain about these performances if we're winning. This
Yes.
late in the season, we've seen teams in title races have to grind it out. Last year, remember the City game versus Crystal Palace last year, 1-0 penalty late in the season?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's what you need to win the league.
That's
What
all
I
you
say
need.
is results.
Funnily
just
enough, a certain team went to Palace and won 1-0 via a penalty this season. Funnily enough, went to Palace away. I know the God penalty 1-0. You never know, man. Hey, these things line up.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the
There
bottom
you
line
go.
is at this tail end of the season, all you need to do is just go in and get the 3 points.
just win.
And
Get
here's the thing: like if you look at the team has what it takes to be able to get 3 points. That's that's the part that I like. It's just like okay, look,
I need to stop you guys. It's the last 10 minutes. What we need to do is our predictions. Okay? And what I need you guys to do is to give me what you think, and at the end, give me your prediction. And try to keep it short, like 2 minutes max. I'll start with you, Dylan.
I think we either lose 2-1 or we win 3-1.
So which one are you going with?
I'm giving you choose, bro. I'm told you we're gonna lose 2-1 or win 3-1.
Bro, you that's such bipolar nature. Like, what are we doing?
No, because while I can also see us going there, winning, brilliant performance, blah blah blah. I can also see Sky Sports tomorrow afternoon where Thomas Partey's in arms on the floor, Ben White sat on the floor like this, like he's on a sunbed. The players know it's done. David Raya like this, just.
why is that what your mind is going to? Why can't your mind? Hold on. But this is what I keep saying. This is what I keep saying about you Arsenal fans. You guys are. This is
You
why
are Arsenal fan, no?
This is why they call us deluded. Because in one breath, you hear us sit here and talk about how good our players are and how solid we've been this season and the most defensive team and the team scoring the most and blah 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 blah. We talk about all the stats and we big up this team and then we say, okay, give us your prediction. And you say, well, I can just imagine the players like, oh, we've lost, oh, it's game over. Like this is why we're deluded. It's like we're bipolar.
I just said that. Listen, it's crazy.
What is this?
Dylan, if you have to stick with one, which one are you sticking with?
I think we went 3-1.
Okay. Dayo.
2-0 clean sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 goal in the first half and a goal close to the end of the game. They'll come out and play, we'll defend for our lives, and we'll get a counter at the end of the game. Hopefully make it 2-0. And that's my positive outlook on it. But if I really wanted to predict a goal, I'd say 1-0 we win.
2-2, bro. It's 2-2. I've just seen the vision. It's 2-2. I want to
Bro,
win.
stop it. Stop your vision,
Just
bro.
seen the vision.
Man thinks he's that so Raven.
The vision just hit me, unfortunately.
Well, the guy's gonna start making that funny face saying, you know that show? That's a Raven? No.
Yeah. Don't worry, I know.
Sorry.
Give me your take.
Okay, go Sulz.
The thing is, he's the one going to the game out of all of us, and he believes we're gonna lose. It's copium. You're trying to get yourself psyched out, prepared for the worst case.
Mr. Miles Brittany, did City beat us? No, they did not. So take several seats at the back.
All right, go ahead, Sulz. What are you saying?
Do you know what it is? Like, I'm excited. I don't know if I'm confident yet, but it's going to be a good game. We just need to prove to ourselves that we are that team. And these are the kinds of games you've got to win. And is it going to be easy? Probably not. Is there going to be a few moments that kind of scare us a little bit in this game? Of course. That's the derby. But you know what? I believe in the lads. I think we'll get the job done somehow. And I'm going to go 2-1.
All right, it's my time.
Yeah.
It's my time to shine. I think Martin Odegaard and that right-hand side is going to give Tottenham problems. And the way we're going to do it, we're going to win the ball high up the pitch. Our ability to press and pass in tight spaces is going to be difficult for Tottenham to cope with. And I could see us scoring a goal early and then countering countering and catching them on a break. From when we catch them on that break and we get that first goal, I can see us sitting back, relaxing for the rest of the night. But we need that first goal. And then when we get that first goal, I can see us seeing out the rest of the game defensively, getting a clean sheet, and then bang, the night being done and dusted from there. 2-0 Arsenal. And I hope we can neutralize their attack, because their attack has not looked good recently. Defensively, we know what we're capable of with the lead. All we need is that to get that lead. If Tottenham score first, completely throw my prediction out the window. But if Arsenal score first, I could see us be smooth sailing from there. So I'm going with 2-0 Arsenal victory.
I also want to say, someone AF Afsa Ghana says, where will City drop points? Nobody knows where anybody is going to drop points at the tail end of the season. But City still have to go and face Tottenham. And Tottenham have 2 games in hand. And because of Aston Villa's draw today, Tottenham know they have to win all their games in hand for them to make top 4. They know they have to win. They know they have to win all their games. So everybody's going to go hard. Tottenham's going to go hard on us. We're going to go hard on them, because we know we have to win our game to stay at the top. And if Tottenham really want to get top 4, they have to beat City. So when they play City, it's up to them, whatever they choose to do. All we can care about is what our team does. And all I know is that game by game, we've played every game the way we're supposed to play it, and we're winning. We're getting our 3 points. That's all it is.
Question is, do you think Tottenham want top 4 enough to let us to see us win the league?
I'm not.
I'm saying, if you're an Arsenal fan, and you can either get top 4 and Tottenham win the league, or we do a year in the Europa and Tottenham win the league. I don't win the league. What would you take?
For me, I want the best of my team. I don't care about them. I love my team more than I hate them. Let me tell you what the delusion here is. Fans who hate another team more than they love the advancement of their own team are the worst type of fans. I would rather be in Champions League top 4. I don't care if you win it this year, Tottenham, because you're going to rail in my ear about how you won the trophy. Great. You've got your chance. You finally won a trophy. I would rather get in Champions League and be able to entice better players and say, look, I'm in Champions League this year. I need to build my squad and be better. I'm not in Europa. I will get a better pool of players so that when I come back the following year, I should be able to beat you and take that trophy off your hand. That's what I want for my club. I don't want my club because I hate Tottenham. I will now take 5th position so that they don't win.
I think it's different for us because we're so much more successful than them anyway. I think for them it's different. Them seeing us win another league it'd be too
I totally understand. See, I totally understand where you're coming from, but I'm like, that is just the worst. Like you want your team to regress because you don't want another team to win. Wow, that is like, man, those guys must be sad. Like, I just want my team to go forward. I really don't care about every other team as much as I don't like them. All I want is I want Arsenal to keep going forward. As long as we're winning, it doesn't matter to me whether another team comes and wins the FA Cup this year and wins the Carabao Cup. And I'm never going to say, oh, I don't want to get top 4 because I don't want Tottenham to win. Like, man, I'd rather be proud of what I have and carry my team on his head and say that we'll be back next season. Because if we're in Europa, like, who are you pulling? What kind of players are you getting? What's your pull? Like, what are you going to say? But if you're in the Champions League, at least you can, number one, you're going to get Champions League money from TV reviewing and rights, which gives you more money to spend on players, which also gives incentive to better players to come to your team. So I will look at the positive.
We're going to wrap it up here, guys. But before we wrap it up, I just want to say that academy kid in the under 18s who keeps scoring goals, that's crazy.
Ridiculous.
It's crazy. What's his name? Obi Martin?
Yeah.
No idea, mate, but it's ridiculous.
Obi Martin, he scored today. What was it? 7 goals?
That's a
16-year-old kid. Yeah, he scored every single goal. Like it's
the 16-year-old kid. Yeah, I don't know
that's what makes me laugh. That's what makes me laugh about him, because it's like normally a player will get a hat trick, and normally if it was a game where someone's getting a hat trick, it's a couple. No, he scores every goal.
He's now scored 28 goals, and today I think he scored 8 goals or something like that. How many goals did he score? Like under 18s. Arsenal's under 18s. Let me check.
Ridiculous.
Arsenal's under 18s. This guy is way ahead of schedule. Way ahead of schedule. So they lost. So not enough for they beat Norwich 9-0, and he scored in the first minute, the 14th minute, the 17th minute, the 28th minute. So that's 4 goals already. And then before halftime, he scored the 5th goal. So he made it 5-0 by himself. And then coming out of halftime, he scored another 2 goals. So scored 7. And they ended up scoring 2 more goals after that. His teammates scored 2 more goals in the 88th and the 89th. They won 9-0, and he scored the first 7 goals. Fucking mental.
He probably came off. If it was someone else that scored the last 2, he was probably off the pitch.
And if you guys don't believe me, I have to show you guys this. This is nuts. This is nuts. Literally, look at that.
I believe you.
Egal, look at this stats here now. Look at what I put on my screen.
What are you showing?
All the goals he scored. This is all the goals he scored.
This kid's not normal.
This is what he's scoring.
Am I bugging you? I'm pretty sure. Didn't he score like 10 goals against Liverpool?
He scored, I think, is it 10 or 11 goals against some team. I don't remember which team it was.
Liverpool.
What? He scored 10 goals versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
This kid's not normal, man. When is he gonna get a chance?
No, he's gonna go under 20. He needs to go under 21.
So did you hear that that he could be on the bench from one of our last games of the season?
Yeah, he's not gonna play, man.
No, Sulz, he's not gonna play. Remember what Arteta and Edu said. If you are that good and you're showing progress, they show you a pathway to the senior team. So him just probably being on the bench and knowing that he can get a pathway there gives you that oomph, because they're about to renew his contract. Like,
how old is he? How old is he?
He's 16.
Oh, are you sure? Is it?
Yeah,
he's 14.
He's 16. No, he's 16.
Yeah, he's 16. I mean, of course, he's still playing under 18, under 21, and all that. But he's 16. They took him from the under 16 to under 21 and under 18s.
All right, we're gonna have to wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Also, Alexander Isak's now on 19 goals after playing 26 games. 1 goal off the Golden Boot after missing like 5 games due to injury. Absolutely mental. But yeah, I want that guy as my striker. You guys looking away at Dylan. I know you want Isak. Isak.
I want Isak.
Isak's balling. We're gonna have to talk about transfers after the Spurs game, guys. I'll catch you guys Monday. Monday we'll do a show with the panel. Hopefully after a win. I'll catch you guys then. Peace.
Peace.